Hey guys, Jimmy God here, and today I'm going to be showing you the Dan Dee animated singing Easter Hatchling's duck. Now I remember this being one of my childhood animatronics, and because of it, it holds a special place in my heart. Now, this is actually not my first one. My first one I had to get rid of quite a few years back, and it didn't dawn on me at the time, but I think I could have fixed it if I used my second Bumblebee, which I also got rid of along with this, because if you recall, my first one was actually broken. Wasn't always that way, though. It actually did fully work. But of course, since I was like 10 or 11 at the time I had my first one, I was being an idiot, fooling around, dicking around with it, swaying it this way and that manually, and basically just eventually breaking that one small moving piece that makes the character move the way it does. Because I actually have experience with disassembling one of these characters. It's basically kind of like the older modules, but it's made much smaller. So it's like this small moving wheel piece that moves this lever piece that goes inside the head side to side. It's pretty much as simple as that, and it has like a gear-shaped keyhole. I think it's in the shape of a 10-tooth gear, if I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah, it was a 10-tooth gear-shaped keyhole. It fits onto the 10-tooth gear that's inside the module, so it actually gives the character its structure, its movements, its everything, pretty much. On the inside, that is. Now, as for my first one, I actually have a bit of a funny story to tell you about how I got my first one. I know it's going to be kind of embarrassing to tell you about it, but I might as well do it anyway. So there I was, going through Kmart with my mom and sister. It was springtime of 2008, or was it 2009? It was either 2008 or 9, one of those years, I remember it. It's definitely within that timeline for sure. Anyways, I was walking down the aisles looking at all the Easter stuff, and I saw this, and they actually had a pink version of this as well. Looks just like this, but the egg is pink, and it's saying, "Let's twist again," and its dancing was synchronized with the voice. This one moves continuously. So, when I saw this at Kmart, I asked my mom if I could get it, and she said no. So, of course, because I was a kid, I started crying and throwing a temper tantrum for it. It was like 30 or 20 minutes I was screaming and crying on the floor, and eventually Mom caved in and said, "Fine, you can get it." Yeah, that's pretty much how I got my first one. It should go without saying, but I was a pretty spoiled little shit back then, but between now and then, I've matured quite a lot. I will not lie about that. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm fully mature, like as in dull boy mature. I still have my childlike sense of wonderment with me, and I always will have. Who doesn't want to get rid of that? But anyways, I no longer have that one with me, so this is my second one I got off eBay for 15 bucks cash flat. Quite a steal considering how much money I had left in my bank account at the time, so it was definitely worth getting. And this one needed no repairs. It only needed one minor internal adjustment, actually. The headpiece actually came off the moving side-to-side part that makes the character dance side-to-side, so what I did was I took it off. I just repositioned the piece back onto the moving module, and then I slipped the skin back on. It was easy as that. Originally, I was planning on gluing the piece because that's how it was originally, but the glue that the manufacturers originally used was a cheap, poorly made yellow type glue material. It was a complete mess. Well, not a complete mess, but it still moves and all that. But since I didn't have any glue, I decided it would be better to just tape the piece to the moving part, and that worked just as well, so nobody would be the wiser. So needless to say, I'm very happy to have this guy back too. After quite a few years of not having it, I was starting to miss this little guy. So it's a good thing this one popped up on eBay when he did. But anyways, this duck sways side to side and his cheeks light up while he sings an Easter version of Yakety Yak. So let me just get to playing him. Alright, I'll give you an up-close look at the guy. Yep. And if you're wondering just exactly how big this guy is, he's not big at all. I'd say he's about the size of a dancing hamster, if anything. And the version of Yakety Yak he sings is actually recycled from Dan Dee's older Easter animatronics from the Easter 2004 season. I believe the first animatronic that played the Easter version of Yakety Yak that Dan Dee made was an animated duck with guitar that Chantilly guy has. And another Dan Dee item that was sold at Kmart as well, coincidentally, that played Yakety Yak was Waddles the Floppy Duck. Info on that can be found on Animatronic Wikia. It plays it in the original pitch. This one plays a high pitch, so it was like, it was recycled. And the more I think about it, it seems like Dan Dee and Kmart actually seem to really like animated things that played Yakety Yak. So I think that's where the demand... when Kmart was in business, I think Kmart gave the demand to Dan Dee to make quite a few animatronics that played Yakety Yak. That's just my theory. But nevertheless, and like I said before, I'm really happy to have this guy back in my collection, and he's going to be staying with me forevermore. Alright, here we go again. And a few more things I want to say before I go is, well, here's the tag. First of all, almost forgot to show that. The usual Dan Dee tag doesn't have the production date, but I know I got this in either 2008 or 9. It was made in either one of those years. And this one actually has its battery compartment cover. I used to always lose these all the time on my animatronics, so they would just have no battery compartment, giving you easy access to the batteries, no screwdriver required. And of course, I gotta glue the character back to his module sometime. And shoot, there was one more thing I was going to say. Oh yeah, I was going to say that this guy actually came with his own demo batteries. The expiration date on them was September 2013. So, based on that information, I'm gonna have to say that the exact year this guy was sold at Kmart was 2009. That's just about as accurate as I can get to this item's release date, 2009. And another thing about 2009 Dan Dee items is that this is one of the last items that Dan Dee used the press on-off button pad for before they switched over to removing the button pads and replacing them with standard tags. You know, like what Jimmy did in 2000 with their plush animatronics before they moved on to the button pads. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.